And I'm Leo. Welcome back to our channel, Yoga with Lin and Leo.
Yes, and today we're going to be practicing Bharadvajasana, very interesting twisting action. So I'm going to give you a quick demo of this. You're going to start in Dandasana, lifting up, chest up. This area becomes very, very important in your Bharadvajasana pose. You bend the legs, you take the legs to the side, taking the top foot over the bottom instep. Level the hips. So we will show you different ways of being able to use support in this pose. It's really quite a challenging action to sit on the floor and to keep both buttocks down. So when you come into the twisting action, and remember, keep the broadness and the height. I'm going to extend the arm up, just give a little bit more extension, reaching. So when you get that reaching action, you're going to turn and then take the hand down. So what becomes very interesting in this pose is that the upper body becomes more connected when the arm goes round. So you just see that the arm comes round and you catch. So the catching action is quite challenging for a lot of people, particularly if the shoulders are stiff. So we can show you different ways of being able to manage that too. So lifting up, chest up, and breathe. So see that you don't start moving the head all over the place. Keep the chin in line with the chest and reach up as you reach the foot side buttock down, and then get that turning action. Okay, so I'm going to show you a quick demo on the other side. We come back to Dandasana, and then we come with the leg position, and again, leveling the hips, sitting up nicely, reaching up, extending, rotating, taking the arm over, keeping the balance down with that foot side buttock, and then reaching. I'm going to bring the arm on this one to reach it a little bit more, and then extending up.
And you can see here that Lin is keeping this side of the groins down. For many of our students, when they start to turn, that whole leg and groin will lift to enable them to get the turn, which is an incorrect action. So you can see here that Lin's keeping that down, and if that's a difficult action for you on the floor, which it is very tough, then stay with us and we'll show you how to work.
Yes, and then extending the legs. So it's quite challenging, particularly for the Western hips, isn't it? You know, when the hips are really stiff and you're perhaps not too far into your yoga journey, then it's quite challenging. So I'm going to show you now how to use your props.
So the props that we've got are a foam pad, a blanket, and a belt. So if you don't have any yoga equipment, another folded blanket or a towel would be fine, and a rope or a tie would be okay. So I'll start out sitting to the front.
Yes, so we want to just go over this really important stage of Dandasana and grounding the legs. So before you bend the legs, it's so important to get those muscle fibers really nice and long and connected with the floor before you start bending the leg into the Bharadvajasana action, and keeping that broadness across the chest. If you've been watching our channel and you practice the Gomukhasana action, that will hold you in good stead for this pose.
Yes. So we swing the legs to the right. And you saw with Lin that she got both sides down, but you can see here, this is my trickier side, I'm definitely lifting on this side. So if I were to go into the pose, it would be with the pelvis at an angle, which we don't want.
Okay.
So I'm just going to show from the back as well, because the foot action, that would be good, wouldn't it?
Yeah. And also, when you are coming into the preparations of the pose, then to be sure that the knees are facing forward and the legs are facing forward directly. So you can see Leo showing you the foot position. So those of you who are not familiar with this pose, then this is really a good thing to start understanding. For a lot of people we find who come to our basic classes, they have really tight feet. Yeah. So that can be quite a challenge. They kind of spread a little bit at first, but don't give up. Keep practicing it. So with the levelness of the pelvis, it helps to use the lift.
Yeah, absolutely. So we can use, to start with, the corner of a blanket. And that might be enough to give you the levelness, but it might not. So that's a lot better because I'm now getting the pelvis level.
Yes, and what's really nice is that it acts like at scales. You can weight down on that foot side, which really does give you that tremendous stability. So do be patient with this pose. Don't try and force yourself into it because of the knees. You have to make sure that you protect the knees and that you just gradually ease those feet into it's a Virasana action.
So I'm going to take the arm up and turn. For many people, catching that arm is difficult, which is where your belt comes in.
And this is really wonderful because it just gives you that connection. Makes a big difference, doesn't it?
It does, it does. You need to have that connection to the arm so that you can get the rotation. And as Lin said previously, don't swivel the head around. Keep the chin in line with the breastbone.
Yes, and absolutely, keep that lift. We're
from the front.
Putting out a few of these videos at the moment in preparation for inversions, and this would be a really good one to include in your practice, but also so good for so many other things, to get the agility and the openness in the chest and the spine for your back bends, enormously helpful.
So I'm just showing from the front because it helps to see from all angles.
Yes, and you can see that belt action, and also the back shoulder. Just trying to weight down that back shoulder so that you start to lift the chest even more. And as we were saying, that chest needs to lift and broaden and the chin in line. So you go up through the spine and you rotate. Don't think because you're turning your head, actually you're going a lot further. That's not quite right.
And what we were saying earlier about Lin keeping her pelvis level, what tends to happen with a lot of our beginner students, I'm sure you notice this as well, is that, can you see?
Yeah. That
lift. And that's, it fools you into thinking that you're turning.
Yes, people think they're going a lot further than they are. So just remember this, keep grounded.
So I'll just show on the other side because we want to be even. So now you swing your legs to the right because you're turning to the left.
And that support is so key to get the lift in the spine. And holding on to the bowels. If you need to, you can walk along that belt. You may be able to hold on to that upper arm. You can see Leo does this nicely. And then from there, this is really, once you make this shape and you get that connection, whether it's with the belt or with the hand to the upper arm, you can start working and opening that upper chest region. And it's a really beautiful pose to be in, breathe, broaden that upper chest region and become so much more supple in your chest cavity and spine.
joining us today. I think we've done about equal time on each side.
Yes.
When we're teaching, sometimes the sides aren't as even as they perhaps should be, but you want to try and get an equality and a balance on each side of the body in every pose that you do.
Yes, definitely.
So, thank you for joining us today, and we'll see you again with our next video.
Namaste.
Namaste.